right? Perhaps the date and myself might kiss.
Oh.
He looks up and goes, holy shit, is that your dad? And he looks up on the balcony on the second floor. The lights are pitch black, except you have one light in your bathroom coming behind you. So it's just a black silhouette of you standing looking over down. And he got in his car. And that was the last time I saw him. He never came back. He never called me back after that.
Come on.
But when we were in middle school, from maybe second grade to high school, you would wake us up every day at 6 a.m.
For sure.
We'd have to go downstairs, push-ups, sit-ups,
clean and jerk.
Clean jerk, deadlift, throw a shot put.
You're in the army now.
No, but we
guys. We
every
had
day.
a little 4-pack when we were in middle school, and I wish I was kidding. Like I think
4-pack.
No, genuinely, look at our like photos when we were wearing bathing suits. We had abs because of.
But so
the way you raised it.
But why did you
also
and
remember
not only,
ketchup and eggs?
Oh God! And not only that, you made us recite poetry every single day into a tape recorder every single day, and that was. The thing is, what I liked about the way you raised us was none of my girlfriends could possibly relate to it because their dad would do normal dad stuff. Whereas,
like what? What is normal dad stuff?
Just normal dad. Like let me cut your peanut butter and jelly into 4 slices.
Oh my God.
Whereas you.
That's it?
No, I'm saying.
How about some flapjacks, girl? That's really?
No, but I'm saying what I can tell them is that they cannot relate to at all is, did your dad make you speak into a tape recorder and recite poetry and limericks?
Now we know the Raven by heart.
But what is that other one that you know that was so great? Anyway, I wanted them to articulate and hit these words known as plosive sounds, like and so you put a piece of I don't know, you don't even have it here.
Oh yeah, he would put a tissue.
If you have a napkin or a tissue, you go pa, and it would pop up.
It was a competition to see how high
every day he would.
I was in the bank. I had a landlord. She's a female landlord, but she was so big that when she came to collect the rent, like an entire shadow would cover the building. You know what I mean? It's like a total eclipse. And I mean, I'm not a small man, but she was a vicious individual, and she would have thought nothing about taking my car and bending it in half if she didn't get her money. And so I had $106. The rent was $300. I had a pregnant wife. I have a very huge British dog, as a matter of fact, a bull mastiff, who would eat anything, organic or unorganic, anything. Cactus.
Including the landlady.
Oh, the landlady. I mean, feed it. What do you want to feed it? A brick. Give it a brick tonight. Anything. So that, I had that kind of like...
Before he was Rocky, Sly tried out for The Godfather. But producers said he didn't look Italian enough. Check out this hilarious story.
Career.
I went up for The Godfather.
Did you really?
Yes, as an extra.
An extra.
It didn't get it. You don't look Italian enough.
Really?
The only thing that looks more Italian than me is a pizza.
Studios loved the script for Rocky, but offered Sly a fortune just to walk away so a famous actor could star. Here is what happened next.
They liked the script, but they were so desperate not to have you that they kept offering you increasingly large sums of money to go away, didn't they?
Right, it went up to about $265,000.
Not to appear in the film.
Right, to stay away, to get off my lawn, boy. But what they didn't count on is when a person hasn't had that type of money, they really don't miss it. In other words, if you haven't ridden in a Rolls Royce, you don't mind bouncing around in a Volkswagen.
Did you know Sly writing Rocky inspired Matt Damon and Ben Affleck to write Good Will Hunting? Listen to how he paved the way for young writers.
We had Matt Damon on this show a couple of years ago. He said in our interview, when he and Ben Affleck wrote Good Will Hunting, they wanted to be in it, but nobody knew who they were.
Right.
And every studio they went into, they wanted Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Right.
Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, before they went into every meeting, looked at each other and they go, Stallone. Stallone. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's...
Working with legend Burgess Meredith was no joke. Sly reveals the moment Mickey almost laid him out cold on set.
Like a young caveman. And I said, let's do that in the movie. That'll look great. So he's tying a string between my feet, so I carry my body just so. And I say, okay, Burgess, during this point, you just haul off and smack me right here. Don't miss, on the chin, okay? Because you're really fragile. Hauls off, hits the earlobe, right? All this, I don't know, potatoes come out, whatever comes out of your ear. Yeah. Then he hauls off, hits me in the nose. Third take, he's knocking me out. I'm playing the fighter. And Burgess
You're not very tall.
I'm a 5'10" blood clot by now. I said, all right, times. I tell you what, we'll do the red shoes. I mean, forget it.
Yeah.
So we decided.
Sly is the ultimate prankster at home. Here is how he convinced his own daughters he was secretly competing on American Idol.
What they used to do. Do you remember for 4 years we believed that he was on American Idol?
That was rude. I told kids in my class.
I told everybody in my class. You were so. We were watching American Idol, and you were like, do you remember this, Mom? We came into the room. I think we were in 5th grade, and we were watching it, and you were like, yeah, I was on it. We go, no, and he goes, yeah, no. They didn't want me to continue because I was too good. And guys,
that's true.
You idolize your dad. Like we're daddy's girls.
We thought you were the greatest guy ever.
We told for literally 4 years. We believed that they just didn't air it. I don't know why we didn't question that. And then all of a sudden, you.
Training for Rocky required extreme diets. Sly shares the brutal and funny story of choking down raw oats every morning.
And I see a military base. And I break onto the military base.
What?
But it's so simple. It's like, I really, literally.
How is that simple?
Yeah, it's a fence. It's like not like complicated. It wasn't like, sirens and guys with machine guns. It's like a fence.
Oh my gosh.
That's
like
it?
You expect a guy with a lawnmower behind it going, come on in. So I went in.
Yeah.
Place is deserted. It's maybe 10 o'clock at night. Then there's a thing called the PX, which is where it's kind of like a place you go to eat.
Yeah.
PX by 6.
If you are hosting a dinner party, there is one action hero you definitely shouldn't invite. Sly explains why Rambo makes a terrible guest.
Though I hate to admit it, it was a 24-hour-a-day occurrence, and I was not the most pleasant person to be around. It's like, we're having dinner with tonight. Rambo, thanks, I'll pass. Okay? Let me know when Rocky shows up, all right?
Because I like Rocky a little bit.
Yeah, oh, yeah. And as Rocky, I would just...
Before Hollywood fame, Sly worked odd jobs. Here is how he became a master fish filleter before getting his big break.
Probably the most abnormal resume I have ever heard in my life. I mean, just to name a few, you were a lion cage cleaner,
right?
A bouncer, you cut fish, you were an usher,
Good
a books.
fish cutter.
I want to get into that.
You were a volleyball coach?
Book salesman.
When were you a volleyball coach?
In Switzerland.
Oh.
I have to say something. I was
Casual.
I was in New York last week.
Yeah.
And there was a man cutting fish. And I don't know, I stopped in the street and I said to myself, my dad used to do that.
That's right.
Sly was a wild teenager. So wild, in fact, that he got kicked out of multiple schools and banned from 2 states.
Plus countless stories of how you were kicked out of 13 schools. Was it 13 or 14 schools?
13.
13 schools.
They would have made 14, but they ran out of schools.
So, but they weren't regular schools, obviously.
No, well,
they were
what happens?
Military schools, schools for troubled
kids.
kids.
You have to work your way through. Again, in all fairness to myself,
okay.
I wasn't raised in a right way. In other words, my brain has always been flipped sideways. It's just the way I've interpreted life. That's why now I realize I made the right choice. But back
to convince Sharon Stone to star alongside him, Sly had to unleash a secret weapon called Dr. Vodka. Here is the whole hilarious tale. Can change anyone. Sly candidly admits how arrogant and insufferable he became right after Rocky won Best Picture. Working with animals on movie sets is unpredictable. Sly shares his golden rule when dealing with horses on camera.
I fall, it's 1 foot.
But you and horses are just, you understand them? Like you get
I do,
bond?
but I also understand you can never completely trust anything that can run and go to the bathroom at the same time. Just remember that.
Rules to live by.
There's rules to live by, you know what I mean?
When it comes to writing, I know that you said you don't...
Hollywood is full of eccentric personalities. Sly doesn't hold back as he breaks down why all actors are completely out of their minds.
Predictability. The best actors are nuts. They are. They're absolutely out of their mind.
Did you ever think you were nuts?
Completely. I am so fit for this job because you're dealing with things that don't exist. You aren't Rambo. Really? Yeah. No? Yeah. Yes. No. You're not. And you embody things that just aren't there, and you do it well. That's not like a real normal type job. You know what's a great job? A plumber. That guy you want to always keep on speed dial. That's a real man, a doctor.
Teachers didn't expect much from young Sylvester. Listen to the savage notes his mother received on his school report cards.
It was an acquired distaste. When I was completely, I never failed. I mean, I never passed English course in my life. Really, I mean, my report card looks like F is my favorite letter. I mean, really,
even in English, though?
Yeah, terrible.
And writing? And
terrible. Because I don't understand the process of structure. I mean, you can sit there and diagram, break down the sentences, and use all kinds of intransitive verbs. You go, but is it funny? Is it a story? I think what makes...
Even after starting his career, Hollywood big shots once mistook Sly for a street squeegee boy. Here is his epic reaction.
All that money, unless they used you in it.
Well, I pulled up to the studio in a 63 Olds that had, it was painted rust. You know, it was painted, nature had painted
Right away,
it.
you're in trouble.
Right away, they thought I was there to do the windows and empty the trash. And when I asked for the money, they thought it was a joke. They thought it was a one-liner, like I was just in there auditioning to do Woody Allen movies. And the more I stuck to it, I think the more worried they became.
Judge Dredd was meant to be a dark sci-fi masterpiece. Sly opens up about his biggest regrets regarding how the movie turned out.
Like when I was working on Judge Dredd, I knew halfway into it, I said, there's no humor in this. This is based on a cartoon and it's not funny. So, okay. So every day to put on those leotards, you know, that uniform was like, oh God, here I go. You know what I mean? It's like, when I just I felt like kind of like a prison guard. Oh, here I go in the cell block 9.
After 5 Rocky movies, people kept asking how far the franchise could go. Sly joked about taking Rocky into outer space.
Plots that they have given me. I mean, they had plots before that, like Linda in the Meat Cleaver, and terrible shows. I mean, my God.
Great stuff. Yeah.
Right, that's it. For 4 years of college for this?
And what about the Rocky? Are there going to be any more stories about Rocky, films about Rocky?
Well, I was thinking about having, like, Rocky on Venus. No, sir, just a very, very simple movie about a boxer who gets caught in a space capsule. And he's transported. Now, you don't believe that, do you?
Not really.
What is the strange desire Sly had while visiting London? Buying an entire amusement park carousel on a whim. Negotiating Rocky, Sly demanded crazy contract clauses that shocked studio executives. Here is what he insisted on.
Oh, my God. Well, why not? All right, we'll give him a chance. And they put a lot of clauses in the contract, like if I fell in love with my leading man, or if I curse a nun, or if I don't brush my teeth, or whatever, I could be removed from the script after production after 5 to 10 days. But all that aside, I really think that they just wanted to get rid of me. And they said, well, let's put him in a movie.
The true story of Sly's lowest point, broke, sleeping in a bus station, and trying to feed his beloved dog Butkus.
That's me.
Right.
And then when they wouldn't let you star, they offered you a lot of money for other stars, didn't they?
Oh, they offered, well, I got in excess of like $250,000, and I had about $103 in the bank. But...
And your wife was pregnant?
And my wife is pregnant, and my dog was eating furniture, and it was desperate times. So I asked my wife if, I said, if you don't mind taking a long shot, like just ended up in the backyard grazing or something, and because we don't have any money left, I'll go ahead and see if we can.
Sly didn't write in a cozy office. He wrote scripts while listening to boxers sparring in gritty NYC gyms.
Pressure on him?
Oh, yeah, it really did. The odd thing is there was one picture taken. I wish I had it now. It's the 15th round, bloody and gored, and nose is hanging in my ear. And then he said, listen, could you rewrite the love scene for next Thursday? So they stick a giant big pen in my glove, and it's claw shot. And this is what the whole thing was maneuvered like that. So it was, I think that's what...
Sly reflects on turning down superhero roles back in the day, preferring raw action over colorful spandex tights.
Aren't you then in danger of getting yourself into the other trap of acting, that you'll only be associated with the one character?
Right. That is a danger. So that won't happen, at least for, I'll do 2 films in between that. But if I had to be locked into any kind of character, I would sure rather be locked into this one than, let's say, the Count of Monte Cristo, where I have to run around in leotards for the rest of my life.
From gritty Philadelphia streets to high society Hamptons, Sly looks back at adapting to luxury life.
At home on New York's Long Island, Sylvester Stallone knows he has come a long way. Rocky made it to the Hamptons, and good for him, you know?
Rocky made it to the Hamptons. No, if that isn't a dichotomy, I don't know what is.
Growing up in Hell's Kitchen, Sly's childhood companions weren't kids his age, but elderly neighborhood locals.
Your parents dropped you off at like an old folks' home when you were younger.
For the first 5 years of your life.
Mama
because they didn't feel like
Hanson's
raising
house.
you.
Yeah.
No, you were left in an elderly home, so you were around, as a 5-year-old, 95-year-olds.
So maybe that's why you were figuring out how to converse with people very quickly, because you were able to have these conversations.
Yeah, my average friends were like 90.
Yeah,
like
which is crazy.
So you're about 5 years old. Yeah, at the time, I didn't think it was so bad, but we look back on it, it's not exactly a smart choice. Daycare centers, you have daycare centers today. Back then, they really didn't have. They had boarding houses.
Really?
Yeah, for like traveling salesmen or airline stewardesses, people coming in and out. So you go down to a boarding table, boarding house.
Yeah.
And you'd see 11 strangers. And the next day, there's 9 strangers. It's a boarding house, literally like low rent.
Yeah.
You know. You got some guy who smells like turkey.
Well, that
who's in the next room. You go, yo, can't wait till he moves on and get that guy that smelled like crab back in here. He was great.
Oh my God. I mean, that probably makes sense for why you like Jell-O so much today. That's probably all you were eating in the old folks' home.
I like food that doesn't
require
any intelligence whatsoever.
Rice pudding and Jell-O.
Exactly right.
Sly breaks down camera tricks and why low-angle shots make action stars look larger than life.
The only people that look good from a low-angle shot right here is usually when you're about 11 months old. You get away with it. After that, you have some serious shadows, okay? You go from 11 months, and then you become, at 1 year old, you become like baby Frankenstein, and it gets progressively worse as you get older. I didn't care anymore. I didn't care, and I think that...
Gaining 40 pounds for Copland was a huge risk. Sly jokes about eating pancakes every day to get out of shape.
With Copland, they said, this is going to be difficult, because you're going to have to completely divest yourself of what you've used for the past 10 years, which is you have to gain 30 pounds, you have to play almost 80% deaf, you have to be incredibly obsequious, fawning, shy. Everyone is going to be belittling you in the movie. I said, well, it sounds like my home life. It's okay. You know? What's the difference?
The surreal moment young Sly met Hollywood icon John Wayne, and the advice the Duke gave him.
He says it was none other than John Wayne who was among the first to welcome him to Hollywood.
He goes, you're new in the business, kid. I go, yeah, I just started. He goes, welcome. My name's John Wayne. And we're like...
Filming underwater in tight spaces left Sly with a lifelong phobia of tunnels. Here is how it impacted him.
Take the bridge. You better believe it. Actually, Charlie, now when I drive, because I've just finished a film with Robert De Niro and Harvey Keitel, it's a wonderful character piece. We had to drive through the tunnel a lot, and finally I can't take it anymore. I've become so paranoid. Next it'll be about an elevator, and I'll have to walk up the stairs. You know, like I'm slow. My options are diminishing quickly.
A pivotal New Year's Eve encounter that inspired Sly to stop waiting for permission and start writing his own destiny.
Bar, nothing. I went one time, it was New Year's Eve, 1970, I went to Times Square alone, and I looked around and went, every one of these people wants to be somebody. You better go home and start working hard, because this is your competition.
Writing is rejection and rewrite. Sly gives his honest advice for anyone aspiring to tell stories.
I know you spend your days here writing at your desk.
Oh, God, it's torture.
What do you love about it? And what do you
I don't love
it?
anything about it. I really don't. You go into a fog. So it's very difficult to have any sort of normal relationship with a writer. They're freaky. They're like brain-dead cats.
And you say this from a place of love. Because
Sly uses dark humor to reflect on his turbulent upbringing and how it built his relentless drive.
His father.
There's this incredible sense of emptiness, because why couldn't it have been, like a pleasant upbringing? Why did it have to be so dark? But would I have been here if it was a pleasant, hell, like the Waltons.
The Waltons, you were not.
No. No, I was like the Mansons. It's like, you know, you're like.
So where does...
Sly's mother Jackie was an astrologer. Listen to the wild prediction she made about his destiny before anyone knew his name.
She gets paid, so I guess you could say she's a professional.
She's a professional. And she read your stars or something? What did she say?
Yeah, it was about 8 years ago when I was just starting out in acting. And I said, how am I going to do, Ma? And she says, no one will talk to you for 6 years.
She said that?
So I said, what do I do? Just disconnect the phone, nail the door shut, and get a job as a zookeeper. I didn't know what to do. But she says, you will be a writer. Now, up in this time, I had made it. I was a real success at not being able to spell my name hardly. I was a terrible, terrible writer. No, terrible. When they would say diagram a sentence, I had no idea. I thought it was filthy. When diagrams, what do they mean? You know, I'm serious. So, what happened? I went to see Easy Rider, and I was really down and out. And I said, well, here's a movie that made $35 million, and since I'm doing nothing for the next 6 years, why don't I just go out and invest in a pad and pencil? If nothing else, maybe I can pick, doodle for 6 years.